Coming to you live from Nairobi, Kenya, this is a Friday. Right here, TV 47 to top 3 stories lined up for you. Tonight, operation to flush out bandits in the North Rift enters day 2.
Mali wazazi wangu walitoka ni mlima, lakini hatuwezi fika. Sisi tumekuwa wakimbizi mali hapa.
As Baringo residents appeal to the government to deal with the menace once and for all. Also tonight,
rumors and propaganda ambayo imejaa. So let us not forget the issue, which is that this was a purely an incident which we cannot even explain, that the police can just from nowhere kill 200 animals.
I am not funding banditry. Pokot South MP David Kosing defends himself, says his arrest is politically instigated. And
mahakama ikapata wanahatia hata pesa ambayo walikuwa wameiba, mahakama ikaamua ichukuliwe na serikali kama Bwana Gachagua shilingi milioni 200.
I will take a bullet for Matiang'i. Azimio leader Raila Odinga vows to defend former Interior CS Fred Matiang'i.
Mwambie Bwana Matiang'i watu wetu wanakuja. He should be given notice.
Raila says the raid on Matiang'i's home is politically instigated. Good evening, welcome to the broadcast. Catherine Simolo is on the sign language docket, and I'm yours truly, Stanley Nyirungita. In the next 30 minutes, I'll be updating you what is happening in the country, and the next 30 minutes we'll be having an exclusive, a one-on-one with the one and only Justina Umai. Stick around for that. Now to top story this evening, embattled Pokot South MP David Kosing is a free man following hours of grilling by DCI sleuths over claims of funding banditry. However, the legislator has denied the claims, saying his arrest is politically instigated. Speaking after he was interrogated by DCI officers, the legislator said his only mistake was to post bail for 7 suspects who are arrested of allegations of banditry attacks. Sylvia Nyongesa reports.
After a series of grilling sessions that began yesterday following his arrest by DCI sleuths, Pokot South MP David Kosing has finally been allowed to go home, pending further direction by the investigations agency.
And those answers, the investigators found out that either we have satisfied them, and that is why they have told Mheshimiwa to go home. They will inform us. They will call me on Monday if they will need Mheshimiwa to come back. But if there will be no need for him to come back, they will communicate to me on Monday or the earliest time possible.
I'm very happy with the DCI. They are very professional. Hiyo mambo ya politics na mtaona politics na hiyo propaganda itaisha.
According to Kosing's lawyer Danstan Omari, the office of the DCI is still conducting further investigations, including a thorough examination on the helicopter associated with the legislator that is alleged to be ferrying supplies for bandits in the affected areas.
There is no possibility at all for an helicopter to ferry guns. What Kenyans are being told is that Mheshimiwa has the capacity of immunity to carry guns to Wilson Airport, load them in his helicopter, and take them and supply them to the bandits. He has now been bought another one, that there is another white one. He disowns it, and even if he's given it for free, he'll not take it. He has only one helicopter. Yes, the helicopter, the police are going tomorrow to take photos, scenes of photos. The helicopter is not a pro box to be kept in his house. It is available at Wilson.
However, the legislator insists that his was a tribal, noting that his intentions to help 7 members of his community to pay their bonds were taken out of context, while at the same time calling on the government to investigate other leaders from the region.
I say, oh, why did Kosing help people to pay even kwa nini alilipia our bond, kwani Kosing is associated with the cattle rustling, ama benefiting, ama money, ama rumors and propaganda ambayo imejaa. So let us not forget the issue, which is that this was a purely an incident which we cannot even explain, that the police can just from nowhere kill 200 animals. And this incident has never happened in Pokot since history.
A joint operation involving the Kenya Defence Forces and Kenya Police Service has commenced today in the areas affected by violence emanating from cattle rustling in the North Rift in a bid to end the vice that has claimed lives of both the police and locals. Sylvia Nyongesa, TV47, Nairobi.
I much appreciated for that, Sylvia Nyongesa. Now, the operation to flush out bandits in the North Rift region entered day 2 as this is Kapedo residents in Baringo County continue to live in fear of more attacks. The residents have urged the government to intensify the operation to weed out the criminal elements once and for all. Lucky Herano with more.
This is the situation in Kapedo, Baringo County. The runaway insecurity continues to be a thorn in the flesh as residents remain hopeful for the peace which has been elusive for many years. Maurice Ekitela, a resident of Kapedo, narrates what they undergo every day, waiting for the lasting solution from the government. Women and children are greatly affected with the insecurity menace as hundreds of school-going children in the area are unable to acquire basic education.
Lakini hatuwezi fika. Sisi tumekuwa wakimbizi mali hapa. Tukua hata ukienda maji, hauwezi enda maji mtoni na maji matamu iko hapa. Ruto. Mali alipo naomba yatusaidia sana kwa sababu hatuna security iko, lakini Pokot hata kujua yeye ni kama hata anashinda Al-Shabaab. Yeye anapiga mtoto, akipata hata mtoto hata kwa mbuzi anapiga risasi.
Residents have urged the government to open the road that link the warring communities to save lives.
Inaonelea operation ifanyike. Sababu mwenye kufaa kiatu ndiye anajua kiatu jinsi inavyomfinya. Mimi ni msaliwa hapa na
Evelyn Kaudo, a widow who lost her spouse at Lomelo area, has embraced government operations to flush out bandits in the area, saying this will ensure lasting peace.
Lakini mzee wangu aliathiriwa huko Lomelo kwa sababu alikuwa na baba mwingine huko Lomelo. Alikuwa ni mzee wa kanisa, alisimamia kanisa huko Lomelo. Sasa huko hapa basi ndio tukasikia kuwa imeuliwa. Ilikuwa na mzee yake tu chache akasema acha tu niende nimuokote tu nyasi ambayo naletea nini kwa nyumba.
And as government continues with the operations, the residents are hopeful normalcy will return to ensure they live a normal life. Lucky Herano reporting for TV47.
Now tonight, the Azimio Coalition has voted to defend former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i from state harassment, with the coalition leader Raila Odinga saying he will take a bullet to defend him. The coalition, which took its anti-government campaigns to Kisii County, condemned the raids and attempted arrest of the former CS at his Nairobi home, telling him to stand firm in the latest crackdown on former President Uhuru Kenyatta's allies. Apollo Kamau reports.
In a show of solidarity against President Uhuru Kenyatta's Super Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the Azimio Coalition held its ground at the Gusii Stadium, Kisii County, telling off the state on the attempted raid and arrest of the former CS at his Nairobi home, vowing to defend him tooth and nail.
Kama kuna kitu natafuta kwa Bwana Matiang'i, mwambie Bwana Matiang'i watu wetu wanakuja. You should be given notice. But don't treat Mr. Matiang'i as a criminal in Kenya. Bwana Matiang'i has not refused. He has not refused to be charged in a court of law.
The Kisii's People's Baraza turning the heat on President William Ruto for breaking the law while withdrawing cases for the president's allies, saying they will not allow the arrest of Matiang'i and what they claimed was a return to dictatorship.
Kwa nini Fred Matiang'i ahangaishwe kama yeye ni mhalifu? Matiang'i ni Mkenya, apewe heshima na sheria ifuatwe. Kama iko kitu anafuatilia, si walienda kotini wakanyimwa order.
Matiang'i was not just a minister kutoka Kisii. Alikuwa minister very well regarded kwa sababu kupigana na watu wengine kama majangili wa Al-Shabaab na kwingineko. Kwa hivyo badala ya kunyanyasa Matiang'i, kama wewe unaamini usawa wa nchi, ungemuongezea security, kwa sababu hujui Al-Shabaab atatoka wapi aje kutafuta kulipiza kisasi.
The killing of NHIF staffer Lilian Waithera by a sniper was also in the leader's crosshairs, claiming it was part of a larger plot to target Azimio supporters during demonstrations. The coalition is scheduled to hold a prayer rally at the Jivanjee Gardens on Wednesday next week. From Kisii, Azimio heads to Kisumu County on Saturday, Nairobi on Wednesday, Mombasa next weekend, Kiambu, and finally Nairobi. Apul Kamau, TV47.
To some party politics, the leadership wrangles in the Jubilee Party continue to persist as the political party's dispute tribunal is expected to mention the case on ouster of Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni and Vice Chairperson David Murathe on the 24th of this month. This comes as a section of the members of the party from the party plan to decamp to Kenya Kwanza coalition. Flora Lemuke with more.
The fight for retired President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee Party has morphed into a revenge battle, with President William Ruto intent to take back the party built with Kenyatta since 2017. A section of Jubilee Party members led by Yala MP Kanini Kega have started a process to exit Azimio coalition and join Kenya Kwanza coalition.
This is our new office.
However, embattled Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni and Vice Chairperson David Murathe can now breathe a sigh of relief after the political party's dispute tribunal temporarily set aside the resolution of the party's National Executive Committee to suspend them. The tribunal's chairperson Desmond Nungo said the stay order shall remain in place until the 24th of February, when the matter shall be heard to confirm compliance and for further directions. The move comes a day after the Register of Political Parties ratified the Jubilee Party National Executive Committee NEC changes that kicked out Murathe, Kioni and National Treasurer Kagwe Gishogi.
We act when the case is filed with the tribunal, upon which the case must be heard within 3 months.
The political parties dispute tribunal is formed under Section 39(1) of the Political Parties Act 11 of 2011 laws of Kenya and comprises of 7 members, including the chairperson and vice chairperson, and a quorum to decide a case is 3. PPDT is mandated with hearing and determining disputes between members of a political party, a member of a political party and a political party, political parties, an independent candidate and a political party, coalition partners, and disputes arising out of party primaries.
First of all, there should be an attempt to resolve the issue within the party. Should one party feel that the decision is not satisfactory, they go to High Court. That's the next course of action.
Flora Limuki, TV47.
And to matters diplomacy, President William Ruto has urged leaders from the East African member states to come up with strategies that will put an end to the wrangles in DRC and drive stability in the country. Speaking in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, during the African Union Peace and Security Mini-Summit of Heads of State Summit, the head of state said efforts must be validated by countries neighboring DRC for peace following the humanitarian crisis witnessed in the country. And some rather hot news, if you may. Over the past few weeks, the entire country has been experiencing extremely hot weather conditions throughout the day, as questions abound as to why the sun is too hot. Our reporter Elizabeth Atieno spoke to a scientist from the Kenya Meteorological Department and now explains why you might be forced to remain indoors in the afternoon.
For 6 weeks now, Kenyans have been thrown into a state of discomfort due to the scorching heat emanating from the sun, especially during the day. It is now evident that the situation is more serious than many of us ever imagined after scientists advised Kenyans to limit exposure to the sun between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. as the rays produced have proven to be lethal to the human skin.
Normally within the high temperatures, we're also looking at, you might even end up getting some of the dangerous UV rays, which could be lethal to the skin. You have heard about issues like skin cancer and so on. When the temperatures are high, the way the body reacts is that the blood comes closer to the skin when the temperatures are high. And therefore, that's why when you look at an individual, when the temperatures are very high and they are under the sunburn, you find they look kind of like reddish.
Dr. Richard Mwita is the Assistant Director of Climate Services at the Kenya Met Department and now explains to us how the depletion of the ozone layer has caused overexposure of the UV light, which poses a serious health risk to those with pre-existing medical conditions.
When people have different body conditions like health problems, particularly those people who are, I don't know, you say obesity or something like that, people who are overweight, people who have a case of high blood pressure, asthma, cardiovascular problems, then it means that when the temperatures rise, they can exacerbate those conditions.
Many Kenyans are likely to lose concentration on their daily tasks due to heat stress, which occurs when the body is unable to get rid of excess heat. The hot weather does not only affect humans, but also animals.
And heat stress can bring a lot of issues. Like if you look around, there are some areas where you see even insects are affected. Like, the small black ants. You can see, especially in Nairobi, in some areas, there are so many right now. You just leave your food in the house and then they are just all over. Why? Because the temperatures that we observe on the surface, they also affect below the surface, where some of these insects live. So what happens, when it's too hot down there, they'll start popping out, they'll start coming out.
The Kenya Met Department has now urged Kenyans to drink a lot of water, about 3 liters in 24 hours, and wear light clothes and sunglasses to protect the eyes, as the conventional way of using umbrellas remains highly recommended.
It drains away whatever water or whatever you have in your body. Because when you sweat more, then you lose more water from your body. So, in essence, it means that the way you can regain that is only by hydrating your body. Like you have to take more water.
The sunny and dry weather is expected to prevail in February to mid-March as Nairobi County continues to record an increase in temperature, currently surpassing 30 degrees Celsius.
When you look at Mombasa, normally about 30, 31, but now we have days, even in this February, there's some temperature highs of about 35, 35.1, 34 point something, meaning that you are looking at plus about 3, 4, or even more of what is normal.
As the entire world continues to battle the adverse impact of climate change, planting of trees has been highlighted as the best long-term intervention to tame the situation. Elizabeth Atieno, TV 47.
Right, let's shift gears to a rather sad story. A 12-year-old girl in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, has allegedly died by suicide. It is alleged that the body of the minor was found dangling inside a bathroom with a rope around her neck. Here is Gilbert Nalwa with that story.
Kuangalia kwa shingo, amejitia kitanzi na ametoa ulimi nje.
A family in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County is reeling in shock after a 12-year-old girl allegedly died by suicide.
Kayaka akamwambia, ingia kwa bafu naye mguu ukuje ukule. Akaingia tu kwa bafu vizuri akanao mguu. Mwenye kulingi jana alikula. Akakula tu vizuri, nikasema, Mungu ni mwema. Ni kama na recover.
The body of a minor was found dangling in their bathroom. According to the grandmother, the child was troubled to an extent that she could not even have her meals. But on that tragic day, to the shock of the family members, she had eaten some meal.
Ukaya yake kutoka, tena akabadilisha signs. Yani alikuwa anabadilika tu. Akatoa tena macho ile yenye si kawaida. Ukimwangalia na kutolea macho ile kali kabisa. Nikasema ni nini tena? Unataka kutoroka tena? Akachomoka, tena akatoroka, akaenda.
Only for her body to be recovered a few minutes later in the bathroom.
Sasa ile ninatoka hivi sasa, naenda kumshika mkono ati nimutoi. Nakuta mtoto mkono imekauka. Kuangalia kwa shingo, amejitia kitanzi na ametoa ulimi nje.
Area leaders have now urged parents in the area to pay attention to their children's needs for them not to feel neglected.
Sababu mtoto alituambia anataka kwenda Kakamega kwa shosho yake. Kwa mama yake. Tukaambia shosho, pigia shosho simu akutumie namba ya mama yake. Kweli alipiga simu akaweka loudspeaker, shosho alikataa kabisa. Akasema sitaki huyo mtoto amenisumbua kabisa.
Gilbert Nalwa, TV47.
Holy Pope of the Orthodox Church in the world, Patriarch Theodoros, has today visited the Thogoto Orthodox Church in Kikuyu constituency, that is in Kiambu County. His special message being peace and harmony. The Pope is on a 10-day visit in the country where he is expected to meet Orthodox Church elders and distribute humanitarian aid. Donned in a white garment, the Holy Pope of the Orthodox Church in the world, Patriarch Theodoros, made his way through the small yet old Thogoto Orthodox Church. The worshippers looked on as Pope Patriarch undertook rituals deep-rooted in the Orthodox Church. The elders in the Thogoto Church took the opportunity to praise the Pope as they gifted him. This as he called on Kenyans of goodwill who are financially stable to support those who are greatly affected by the drought.
Here because the forefathers who came before us are the ones who established a very strong foundation. The Orthodox Church in Kenya is trying every best that they can in order to establish schools, hospitals and many other projects that are good for the people of Kenya.
His 10-day visit, which began on the 11th of February this year, saw the Pope visit Turkana County, where he distributed humanitarian aid on Saturday.
Mkaribisha Papa wetu Theodoros ambaye anazidi kufanya kazi mzuri katika jamhuri hii ya Kenya.
Message to Kenya was peace, to remain in peace and to give them hope, because these are difficult times. After the COVID, now we are facing the drought and many people are suffering. So it is to give people hope and to try to help. On Monday and Tuesday, he distributed a lot of food in Lodwar, Turkana. So it is one of the mission and the message of giving people hope that there is tomorrow.
Pope Patriarch will continue with his African tour, his next stop after Kenya being Congo, where he will meet with the Greek community in the country to celebrate its 100th anniversary, and later tour Uganda to meet Orthodox leaders. And into the wonderful world of sports. Kenya's hopes of winning the men's title of the 2023 Africa Cup of Clubs Championships hockey now rely on debutants Butali, who are yet to lose a match in the competition after Kenya Police were earlier today bundled out of the competition. Kenya Police, who started the tournament on a strong foot after defeating Tanzania's Moshi Khalsa 10-0, took a dip in form to lose their fourth Pool B match with the scores of 3-1 against Police Machine of Nigeria at the Sikh Union grounds. The defeat saw the 2017 finalists Kenya Police dropping to third with 6 points as their captain Victor Wekesa lauded his teammates for their efforts despite the defeat. Meanwhile, Butali had an easy route to top Pool A standings after earning a walkover victory after Kada Stars, who pulled out of the tournament due to financial constraints.
Performance was not very good because we had a lot of chances, we never utilized them. And we made our mistakes in the defending. The mistake, they were punished by those mistakes. That's what happened in this game. Very quick on starting the balls, and they were very good in the aerial balls. They were lifting the balls behind our backs. Then we made small mistakes, then we were punished with their mistakes.
Our game plan is just winning. With what our coach told us, with the plan he gave us, that we have to go all out. Massive defense, massive attack. Because the guys are fit, and they just finished their league. So we have to prepare for them very well. And the morale with our president around, it gives us a huge morale for seeing our president around. I'm going with the trophy. Do remember that I told you that we are giving this trophy to our guys at home, the Kada Star, that they are not here. So we want to win this trophy for ourselves and for the Kada Star too.
And some football action. FKF Premier League defending champions Tusker FC will this weekend be looking to get back to their winning ways when they face off with Mathare United in the match week 16 tie of the competition at the Ruaraka grounds. The Brewers, who had a dip in form and lost 2-1 to Gor Mahia in the previous match week, will target to make amends by bagging the maximum points in the fixture against the Slum Boys at the home turf. Tusker has continued to bolster its squad and improve its style of play, as earlier today unveiled their new defender Mark Kibwange on a one-year deal ahead of the tie. Speaking after the team's training session, Tusker FC's assistant coach George Maina exuded confidence over the team registering good results, adding that they have had a good recovery period ahead of the game.
Tumejiandaa vizuri, manake tumepumzika vizuri, so na pia apart from zile injuries tumekuwa nazo, at least kuna vijana ambao wana come in very well, na hope kesho watatupatia mchezo mzuri kwa hii game inakuja. Wachukulia kwa ugumu, manake ni timu nzuri, si ati ni Mathare, ati labda ati ni vijana wadogo, ni timu nzuri. At least tumeweza kuona games mbili wameweza kushinda, na watakuja na ugumu kesho, so pia sisi tumejiandaa vizuri, team iko vizuri, wale vijana wako eligible kucheza, tutawapatia nafasi waweze kucheza, so nafikiria itakuwa vizuri kesho.
And with the game of kings and queens, the Kenya Golf Union, KGU, is set to hold the inaugural University Golf Day that looks to have an engagement with university and college students who have the power to transform the sport in the country. This Sunday at the VetLab Sports Club, the union targets to get the universities in the country to adopt golf as a sport, establish university golf clubs, and develop university golf leagues where frequent competitions will be held. Over 150 students from 17 universities and colleges in the country have registered to take part in the engagement, as 60 of the students will participate in a tournament where the best performing university will be recognized. Students who have expressed interest in being part of a university golf club have not started playing golf will be taken through the introductory lessons to the game of golf.
The objective is to get universities to adopt eventually this golf as a sport also in their curriculum, as a continuity as we move from the primary school to secondary schools and all the way to the universities as a curriculum. And we do believe that this inaugural tournament that has attracted more than 150 students from various universities is going to really transform golf in this country.
We have almost 20 universities represented, starting with Nairobi, Strathmore, Jomo Kenyatta, and as far as a university that is in Laikipia University, USIU, KU. So I think we have a broad representation from universities. And also to clarify, we are calling it university golf, but it is not closed to only universities. Tertiary institutions like colleges are also going to have representation during the tournament coming on Sunday. And this is just the first of a series of tournaments which shall eventually, hopefully, be coordinated by the universities themselves.
Right, and we are done. Well, not entirely. After this short break, we'll be having that particular one-on-one